The amazing brain. The brain. What weighs only 2% of your total body weight, but uses more than 20% of your energy? Answer. Your most complicated body part, the brain. Your brain needs plenty of energy to fuel about 86 billion neurons. These brain cells carry the electrical signals needed for thoughts, memories, and feelings. They're the reason you can ride a bike and remember your teacher's name. Neurons form a network with more than 125 trillion connections. Your brain contains more neuron connections than there are stars in the 1,500 Milky Way galaxies. This complex wiring system enables your brain to act as a control center of your entire body. Three brains in one. Neurons connect the brain to the rest of the body, delivering instructions to muscles and bringing back information from your senses. These also connect the three main parts of the brain: the brainstem, cerebellum, and cerebrum. Each brain part controls specific body activities. Brainstem. The brainstem is sometimes called the lizard brain. That's because it does pretty much the same thing in lizard as in you. Controls body processes that are essential for survival day and night. Your brain system keeps your breathing, digestion, heartbeat, and other automatic body processes running smoothly. Cerebellum. Every time you move your body, your cerebellum is at work, coordinating muscle movements and adds targeted instructions. When other parts of your body send a movement signal using information just as your body's current speed and position, with the cerebellum's guidance, you can touch your nose in one smooth motion. Without it, the movement would be jerky, or you might miss your nose completely. The cerebellum also stores memories of muscle movement. Muscle memories become stronger on repetition, which is why practice helps some movements like playing guitar or skateboarding become automatic. Cerebrum. The cerebrum is the largest part of the brain. This is where most high-level brain activity takes place, including thoughts, speech, learning, and emotions. The cerebellum also interprets information from the senses. Sensory information reaches the brain as electrical signals, which the cerebrum interprets as sounds, images, and other sensations. It compares the result with your stored memories and attaches meanings. A stream of electrical impulse becomes a purple buzz or a crowing rooster. You may be surprised to learn that ignoring things is an important part of the cerebrum's job. To understand why, take a moment to notice whatever your senses are communicated to you. Your senses constantly flood the brain with information. By screening out some things, the cerebrum helps you focus on what remains. Right brain, left brain. If you could look inside your head, you'd see that the cerebrum is divided into two halves, called hemispheres. A bundle of neurons called the corpus callosum connects the hemispheres and carries messages between them. The hemispheres control opposite sides of the body. Your left hemisphere sends the signal to raise your right hand. Your right brain is in control when you shake your left foot. Although some tasks can be done by either hemisphere, the two are not identical. The right brain usually controls creativity, artistic skills, and then interpreting what you see. The left brain generally controls speech, writing, and math skills. Each brain hemisphere has 4 sections, or lobes. Each lobe has specific jobs. However, scientists didn't realize this until the 1800s, when a doctor recorded a strange story about Phineas Gage. Studying the brain. Phineas Gage was injured in 1848 when an accidental explosion shot a 3-foot iron rod straight into his head. Amazingly, Gage survived. The hole in the body in his head didn't affect his memory or his ability to think, but it changed his personality. Gage became rude, thoughtless, and stubborn, so different from his old self that his friends said he was no longer Gage. Gage had lost a portion of his frontal lobe, a part of the cerebrum that governs emotions and attention. His injury gave scientists one of the first clues that specific brain regions control specific brain functions. Doctors studied Gage's case for many years. Then, in 1914, World War I began. Large numbers of soldiers suffered brain injuries. The injuries to certain brain regions constantly caused the same symptoms. With this information, doctors were able to begin creating maps of brain regions and their functions. Trying to learn about the brain by studying brain injuries was much like trying to learn about cars by studying broken engines. Scientists could identify essential brain regions, but that was about it. Seeing brain activity. For a clearer understanding of brain function, they needed a way to study healthy brains. A German scientist created a machine that can measure the electrical activity in the brain. This machine was an egg, provided a particle solution. Everything you do, running, singing, thinking, and more, begins with tiny electrical signals in your brain. An egg measures these signals through electrodes placed on the head surface. Researchers can see brain activity when you walk, talk, read, and more. Unless electrodes are surgically implanted inside a person's skull, though, an egg can detect only signals near the brain surface. Observing activity deeper in the brain was difficult and potentially dangerous until a test called fMRI became available. Like an egg, which measures electrical activities, and MIR identifies action brain regions by measuring blood flow. This gives an indirect measure of brain activity because electrically active neurons require more oxygen. Since blood is your body's oxygen delivery system, brain areas with more blood flow generally have more electrically active neurons. Unlike electrical signals, changes in blood flow can be detected deep inside the brain, and fMRI allows scientists to detect the precise brain regions used when you sing, laugh, or startle, with far more detail than an egg can provide. Mind control. The ability to detect brain signals raised other question. Is it possible to decode these signals? If a computer could decipher a brain's electrical signals, people might learn to control an artificial limb or a robot through a brain-computer interface. If this sounds like science fiction, think again. Experimental mind control devices already exist. Electrodes take the brain signal, which is decoded by a computer. The information can be used to control a machine's device. Researchers hope this technology could be used to help people with disabilities move and communicate better. This technique could also be used to send brain signals from one person to another person. In early experiments, one person's brain signal for finger movement traveled over the internet to another room. There, a special device delivered the signal to a second person. His finger moved following the instruction from another brain. Maintain your brain. Your brain is an amazing machine. And like a machine, it operates best with proper care. How do you keep your brain in top condition? For starters, use it. Exercising your brain helps it grow in the same way that muscles grow with physical exercise. Take violin players. They learn complicated finger movements for the left hand, and the brain area controlling the hand is larger than in most people. Brain training. Brain changes usually occur only in regions directly involved with their activity. However, research suggests that some mental training may cause border changes. For instance, research at Harvard Medical School showed that people who practiced meditation for 8 weeks had changes in brain regions using for learning, memory, and emotional control. Physical exercise, especially exercise that raises your heart rate, also has brain-wide benefits. Dr. Arthur Kramer is the director of the Binghamton Institute for Advanced Science and Technology at the University of Illinois. When he studies how exercise affects the brain, exercising is good for your body and brain. Kramer says research has shown that people who regularly exercise have better memories and attention and often do better on school tests. Sleep is another key to healthy brain function. According to Dr. Ken Powler, director of the Cognitive Neuroscience program at Northwestern University, evidence suggests that your brain replays memories during sleep. That may help skills to inform and information stick in your memory. However it works, it's clear that getting too little sleep decreases your ability to learn and think. Protect your brain. According to the research, Dr. Anne McKee, brain protection is the most important key to brain health. Shock-absorbing fluid and a hard skull guard your brain against injury. If you land on concrete, a fall from only 2 or 3 feet can crack your skull or bruise your brain. Swelling inside the skull quickly cuts the brain's blood supply, and your brain can survive only a few minutes without oxygen. Wearing a properly fitted helmet during sports provides extra protection that may save your brain and your life. Your brain may be the most important part of your body. Exercise, get enough sleep, and wear protective headgear to help your brain operate smoothly for years to come.